All right, the fastest strategy for building strength and lean muscle. This is something I want to share with you today that is very powerful. These are some advanced tactics that I just got into. I've only been doing it for about a month and a half, and I've been seeing some crazy strength gains and muscle growth. The first thing I want to talk about is this acronym. AET. This stands for Assisted Eccentric Training. Now, let me explain the eccentric for a minute. If you're doing an exercise, there's two motions of the exercise. For instance, on a bicep curl, you have the concentric motion and the eccentric motion right there. Now, the eccentric motion is the lengthening of the muscle fibers, and the concentric motion is the shortening. So what we're going to focus on today in these training tactics is the eccentric motion of the exercise. So let me start out with a little story of how I found this and got into this. I was plateaued. I was trying to figure out a way to gain more strength and also build more muscle mass. And I got thinking to myself, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to push or pull more weight? And the first muscle I wanted to target was my chest because I wanted to get a bigger chest. So I went to the granddaddy of chest exercises, which is the flat bench press. And I got thinking to myself, okay, let's load this thing up with 3 plates. So we loaded up with 3 plates. Now the assisted part is my training partner. Now what I had him do, which I'll show you in this clip, is I loaded 3 plates up on the bench press. I had him help me lift it off the bench. And then I controlled the full eccentric motion of the exercise all the way down, and then he helped me burst it back up. Okay, you want to be very careful if you're loading that much weight on and doing these type of free weight exercises, because if something slips and it falls on your chest and breaks it, that's going to be very bad. So back to the story. I've never benched 3 plates in my life. But you can resist a lot more on the eccentric motion than the concentric motion. And what that allows you to happen is it stimulates your body. It's feeling this new weight that it's never felt before. So it stimulates growth and it stimulates strength as well. Almost immediately after doing this, I saw improved strength gains the next day. It was crazy. It was super, super fast. Now, there's 3 different nutrition categories you could be in while doing this. You could be in a caloric deficit, you could be in a maintenance, or you could be in a surplus. Right now, I'm seeing strength gains and a little bit of muscle growth being in a deficit because I'm actually trying to bring my body fat down, but my body's never experienced this weight, so it's like, whoa, what the heck? I'm getting some strength gains. I'm even getting a little muscle growth, which is crazy. Now, I could only imagine the strength and muscle growth that I would see if I was in a caloric surplus. And that's something I haven't tested yet because right now I'm actually in a caloric deficit. But you would probably see some crazy growth with the strength and muscle. Now, let's say you wanted to implement this in a practical manner. So I'm going to erase this here. Something that I'm very fond of that's easy to remember that I like to do is a 3-day training split. So we have our 3-day split. Whoops. I don't know why I wrote the P before the S. Okay, so you got your 3-day split. And what I like to do is legs, push, pull. Sorry for the slanted writing, like awkwardly. Now, the reason I like to do a split like this, it's very simple. So you got your legs, you got your 2 biggest muscle groups. You got legs and your back and your biceps and all your pull motion. You got your legs and then your chest, triceps, all the push motions here. So I like to separate the back and the legs because those are your 2 big muscle groups, and then you have the push in the middle. So essentially how this works is you go legs, push, pull, rest day, repeat the cycle. So what I've been trying to figure out is I have 2 of these tactics implemented right now. I have one exercise in the push category, which is the bench press, And I have one exercise in the pull category, which is a lat pull down. It's actually on the machine. I'll show you right here what I'm talking about. And I'm still trying to figure out how to implement this with the legs. Now, what I would do if you wanted to implement this and see some crazy results is I would just take, if you had a 3-day split like this, you don't necessarily have to have this, but I would find an exercise that you can do, use this tactic on in each one of these categories. So find one for legs, find one for a push motion, and find one for a pull motion. That's what I'm actually working on right now. I have one for push and pull, the flat bench, and also a lat pull down. And I've been seeing some crazy upper body strength gains and muscle growth. Obviously, the next step is to figure out how to implement this in a safe manner with the legs, because you imagine loading up, say, 5 plates on the squat and you go to squat and you just immediately collapse because it's just way too much weight to resist. And obviously, you could resist a lot of weight on the squat, but to figure out a way to have your training partner help you push it back up on the concentric part of the motion is the tricky part. So I'm still trying to figure out what to do here. And obviously you can use it for, I mean, there's so many possibilities. There's bicep curls would be an easy one to use it on, tricep. I've only barely scratched the surface of using this, and I've been seeing some crazy results. So this is something I'm going to keep experimenting with and just use it to target every single muscle in my body, because essentially all I'm doing is just finding a unique way that I can add more weight onto the exercises, which is the eccentric part of the motion. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. P.S. If you want this badass tee of me posing on the shirt, then you can get it on Amazon. I have a link below. Amazon ships very fast, very reliable. It's a really cool tee, actually. I'm digging this material. Also, don't forget to head over to fitfastlane.com, take the fit quiz, get leaner, stronger, more fit, start building your dream body today. This quiz is going to give you the tools you need to get started on this process. We'll see you over there.